All right, we have one more to go. One more to go, then we vote. All right, does anybody need a voting ballot, a paper ballot? Okay, just make sure we know. All right, ready? Our last is Alexis Wary. Alexis, come on up.
Woo. Hello, Alexis.
I love that Alexis was ready. She was on the side wings. She was ready to come up. Are you ready for this?
I was fully ready.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Absolutely.
And let's just make sure timer's ready so that we
Yeah,
can get you.
cool.
And go.
Perfect. So I'm Alexis. So my pitch is around Pittsburgh's bike safety. So Rui Hui Lin was a member of Oakland, and he had a dream to have his pregnant wife abroad join him in Pittsburgh. But on August 3rd, 2009, while biking in Oakland, he was struck and killed by a car. Now, recently, many cities across the country and across the globe, biking has become a very ideal form of transportation due to the economic and the environmental benefits. But with this comes the inevitable casualties that bikers often face when biking on streets that are primarily made for cars. Now, with this knowledge, I decided to base my senior year capstone at Point Park University last year on the idea of how can Pittsburgh become a safer space for bikers. I talked with organizations like Bike Pittsburgh, who actively advocate for bikers throughout the city and also teach classes and events on how to be safe in an active city with many cars and many different forms of transportation. I also talked with students at the University of Pittsburgh who were updating Lynn's Ghost Bike. If you don't know what a ghost bike is, this is a universally known memorial where a bike is spray painted white and it's placed at the location where that person was killed. And then recently, downtown, as in April of 2024, a 67-year-old James Mills was biking across Stanwyck Street when he was hit by a bus. A ghost bike has also been erected in his memorial, but unlike other ghost bikes throughout the city, this one is in a very highly trafficked area where many different people of different backgrounds get to see it, whether they're commuting for work or they're commuting just to come to a game. But that is a crucial thing. And so, as a major plan that the city of Pittsburgh has recently is the downtown revitalization plan. This plan is a focus on creating a more vibrant and welcoming community for residents, employees, and visitors. With that comes the question of how are they going to account for the bike safety, the safety for bikers and pedestrians. How are they reacting to these bike accidents? And what safety precautions are they putting in place, especially with the possibility of an influx of people due to the revitalization? Are they talking with organizations like Bike Pittsburgh on how to create the best possible infrastructure for bikers, walkers, people on electric scooters, and even cars? Having people who actively do that every day, and that's their job, talking with them will be ideal to have a perfect and ideal layout to make sure that everybody's safe. Also,
30 seconds.
Also, are any issues that are being brought up to the city, are they being addressed, or are they being dismissed? I, as a photojournalist, want to make sure that I am amplifying the voices of bike advocates all over the city to make sure that they are keeping in mind the safety of these bikers as we move towards a revitalization. So yeah.
Thank you, Alexis.
Yeah.
Oh, she got some woots. Sharks, what do you think? Sally, do we want to start with you? Did we start? Go right ahead. Use your microphone, please.
I'm going to make this really simple. You're not telling me anything I haven't already heard an idea about. I need you to give me something.
Okay, Simon.
I need you to give me something that is going to blow my socks off.
Right.
So,
she is Mrs. Wonderful.
Like how?
Because I've done, back when I was a reporter, we did a whole piece on this. I want her to give me something updated from what I had already done. Not what I'd done, but what everybody had been doing. Because also, one of the things that's happened is the city has changed.
Yeah.
And downtown has changed.
Yeah.
How can you incorporate that into your idea?
And I think it's important to incorporate that right now and talk with people who are younger like me, especially with that environmental aspect where biking is going to become more necessary for people because of climate change. We're going to try not to use cars anymore. And also the economic value, because there are many people in lower income places of Pittsburgh that can't afford to have a car. So they have to rely on different forms of transportation, one being bikes. So I think with this progression forward and the need for almost having different forms of transportation besides cars, we're going to have to figure out a new solution because it's eventually going to be needed.
So you've given them a reason why they need to do this, and
Yes.
that's a great idea.
Yeah, it's becoming almost necessary, yeah.
Elise.
As someone who has once didn't have a car for the better part of a year and was biking everywhere in the city, and having a handful of friends who also are avid bikers
Yeah.
just for traveling, it's when you walk out the door that's something that's always in the back of your mind. And I think that this is a
1
constant
minute.
conversation that needs to continue. So I appreciate you.
Yeah.
You know, it's important work until everyone is on board and understanding the necessity of this.
Rick Seaback.
I would say the angle, it seems to be so pro-bike that the angle that I wonder about is the self-righteousness of bicyclists.
Yeah.
And I mean, I ride a bike a lot,
Yeah.
and I have ridden a bike a lot. My first video story was about doing a century in South Carolina.
Yeah.
So I love biking, but I also know that as a driver in Pittsburgh, bicyclists, they don't care what the rules are. You
Yeah,
know?
and I think
And like you're saying we should make more rules, but how do we know that bicyclists are going to follow them?
I think that's a very important fact where like Bike Pittsburgh, that organization, will have events and classes to be like, these are the rules. And also I've noticed like with bike lanes and stuff, as a driver myself, it becomes confusing when a bike lane randomly
30 seconds.
ends and the biker doesn't know where to go, or if they're all the way in the middle and I need to turn right and I don't know where they're going. That infrastructure aspect of this pitch is also very important to make sure everybody that's sharing the roads is highly like educated on what needs to be done.
And does a motorized bike make things different? I don't know.
I think, yeah, I think everything's gonna make it, especially with the electric scooters. People are riding those all the time, and that's an addition.
Great
to
work.
that.
Thank you so much
Everybody,
for your time.
thank you. Alexis.
Alexis.
Make sure, you get a certificate. There you go.